You know, every human being reaches a moment in life, a breaking point, where the heart whispers something you've been trying to ignore for years. A moment when the weight becomes too heavy, the silence becomes too loud, and the soul asks a question that shakes you from the inside out. How long will you try to do everything on your own? You might not say it aloud. You might not admit it to anyone. But inside, behind your smile, behind your strength, behind all the "I'm okay" replies, you are tired. Tired of forcing things to work. Tired of pretending you don't break. Tired of trying to be strong for everyone. Tired of carrying a burden Allah never asked you to carry on your own. And deep inside, there's a quiet voice. One that has been calling you back, softly, patiently, again and again. Leave it in Allah's hand. But we don't. We fight. We hold on. We grip what hurts us. We chase what escapes us. We plan with confidence but pray with doubt. We ask Allah for help but then act as if everything depends solely on us. And then we wonder why our hearts feel so heavy. We wonder why we keep collapsing emotionally. We wonder why the pain doesn't leave. We wonder why the same problems repeat in our lives. We wonder why we don't feel the sweetness of peace, the sweetness of tawakkul, the sweetness of surrender. Let me tell you a truth that can change your life in a moment. You were created weak so that you would lean on the one who is strong. You were created needy so that you would rely on the one who never needs. You were created to try, yes, but not to control everything. Because control doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Allah. And the moment you accept this, your entire life transforms. There is a kind of power, an unshakable, unstoppable, invincible power that only appears in your life the moment you stop trying to write your own destiny and start trusting the one who already wrote it with perfection. And so I want you to imagine something. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is violent, the sky is dark, the ground is shaking, and everything you thought was stable is falling apart around you. People you counted on walk away. Plans you made collapse. Dreams you built with years of effort crumble in seconds. Your heart is exhausted, your mind is chaotic. Your chest feels tight. You don't see a way forward. And then, in the center of that storm, you hear a voice, not from the outside, but from your soul. Press your trust in Allah. A simple sentence, yet more powerful than every storm you will ever face. Because when you leave everything in Allah's hand, the storms don't disappear. But they can no longer break you. Life doesn't become easy, but your heart becomes stronger. The waves don't stop crashing, but Allah teaches you how to walk on water. You stop fearing the unknown because you finally know the one who controls it. And the moments that once made you cry become the moments that made you who you are. You learn something priceless. When Allah takes something away, He is not punishing you. He is protecting you. He is redirecting you. He is teaching you. He is preparing you. He is upgrading you. But we don't see that at first. We panic because we feel out of control, not realizing Allah is removing the illusion that we ever had control to begin with. We think loss is a sign of rejection, when it is often a sign of elevation. We think delay means Allah is ignoring us, when delay often means Allah is preparing something far better than what we are begging for. We think hardship means Allah is pushing us away, when hardship often means Allah is pulling us closer. If Allah loves you, He will test you. If Allah wants to raise you, He will test you. If Allah wants to purify your heart, strengthen your soul, expand your patience, and increase your wisdom, He will test you. Not to break you, but to rebuild you into someone better than you were before. But for you to feel the beauty behind those tests, you must learn to surrender. Not give up, not stop trying, not stop working, but surrender the outcome. Surrender the outcome. Surrender the fear. Surrender the desperation. Surrender the illusion that everything depends on you and say, Ya Allah, I tried, I planned. I prayed, I knocked on every door, I used every effort I had. Now I leave the result in your hands. Not because I am weak, but because you are the most powerful. And that moment is when everything begins to change. The anxiety you've carried for years starts melting. The fear loses its grip. The heartbreak begins healing. The confusion becomes clarity. The chaos inside your chest becomes calm. Because the heart is only at peace when it is held by the one who created it. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who spent years chasing a dream. He invested everything: time, money, effort, sleepless nights, endless sacrifice. And just when he thought he was close, everything collapsed. He was devastated. He felt betrayed by life. He felt abandoned. He felt like all his hard work meant nothing. But then, one night, while sitting alone, he whispered, Allah, I don't understand your plan right now, but I trust it. And that one sentence changed everything. Months later, he realized the dream he was chasing would have destroyed him. Allah didn't stop him from succeeding. Allah saved him from succeeding at the wrong thing. And the moment Allah closed that door, He opened another. One the man never imagined, never planned, never even thought was possible. A door that brought him success, happiness, and peace beyond his expectations. This is what happens when you leave everything in Allah's hand. You stop chasing the wrong things. You stop attaching your happiness to people. You stop begging life to be something it was never meant to be. You stop losing yourself in pursuit of things that weren't meant for you. Instead, you begin to rise, and Allah begins to guide you in ways you never saw coming. He aligns you with opportunities you didn't know existed. He sends people into your life at the perfect moment. He removes those who block your growth. He protects you from unseen harm. He softens your heart. He strengthens your mind. He elevates your soul. And suddenly, you realize something. Life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. Because Allah is writing your story with more love than you write your own dream. And sometimes the most powerful transformation in your life begins the moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is Allah trying to teach me through this? Choose nothing in your life is random. Not the people you met, not the heartbreaks you felt, not the delays you faced, not the blessings you received, not the pain you endured, not the silence you lived through, not the nights you cried, not the prayers you whispered with a trembling voice. Every moment is a message. Every event is a lesson. Every difficulty is a sign. Every blessing is a reminder. Every loss is a redirection. Every delay is protection. And every tear you shed was seen by Allah when no one else saw it. You never cried alone. You were never abandoned. You were never invisible. You were never forgotten. Allah saw you. Allah heard you. Allah heard you. Allah knew you. Allah understood you. Allah protected you. Allah guided you. Allah carried you through moments even you didn't know how you survived. You survived things that should have broken you. You lived through nights that felt endless. You faced storms you didn't think you'd recover from. You walked through pain that seemed unbearable. You held on when you felt like letting go. And you know why? Because Allah held your heart even when you didn't realize it. You may think you were the one who stayed strong, but it was Allah who strengthened you when your strength was gone. You may think you were the one who survived, but it was Allah who carried you when your feet had no power left. You may think you were the one who kept going, but it was Allah who placed light in your chest when everything around you felt dark. And that's the beauty of leaving everything in Allah's hand. You stop living life with panic and start living with peace. You stop reacting with fear and start responding with faith. You stop worrying about tomorrow because you know who controls tomorrow. You stop feeling alone because you know Allah is always with you. And when Allah is with you, what can defeat you? Not heartbreak, not failure, not loss, not fear, not the opinions of people, not the sharpness of life, not the weight of your own mistakes. Because Allah is greater than everything that hurts you. Allah is greater than everything that scares you. Allah is greater than everything that confuses you. Allah is greater than every door that closes. Allah is greater than every dream that's shattered. Allah is greater than every fear in your heart. And when you place your entire trust in Him, you begin to see how life shifts in your favor. Sometimes Allah will take you the long way, not because the short path isn't possible, but because the long path strengthens your soul, beautifies your character, and prepares you for what He is about to give you. Sometimes Allah will isolate you not because He wants you lonely, but because He wants you His. Because when you are surrounded by noise, you can't hear the voice of your own soul. When you're lost in the world, you can't find your Lord. So Allah pulls you away. He places you in solitude. He slows down your life, closes doors, He slows opportunities, He removes distractions, so that finally you look up. And when you look up, everything starts to make sense. You realize your timeline wasn't delayed. It was aligned with something greater. You realize your heartbreak wasn't a punishment. It was protection. You realize your loss wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something new. You realize your struggle wasn't meaningless. It was strengthening you. You realize your tears weren't wasted. They washed your heart clean. And you understand one of the most powerful truths in this world. When Allah is writing your story, don't interfere with the pen. Don't force chapters that aren't meant for you. Don't cling to characters who are meant to leave. Don't stay attached to things that are blocking your elevation. Don't try to control what only Allah can control. What you need to do is trust. Trust that Allah knows what you don't. Trust that Allah sees what you can't. Trust that Allah is doing something beautiful behind the scenes. Trust that every delay has wisdom. Trust that every detour is purpose. Trust that every heartbreak has healing hidden inside it. Because Allah never takes without giving something better. Allah never closes a door without opening another. Allah never removes someone from your life without replacing them with someone more deserving. Allah never tests you without preparing something for you. Allah never breaks you without the intention to rebuild you stronger. And when you trust Allah fully, you stop begging for what wasn't meant to be. You stop chasing love that doesn't belong to you. You stop crying over doors that were never your destination. You stop questioning the timing of your blessings. You stop doubting the wisdom behind your struggles. You stop trying to grasp the world with your fragile hands. Instead, you learn to raise those hands in dua and say, Ya Allah, I leave everything in your hands. My heart, my fears, my future, my dreams, my pain, my disappointments, my confusions, my hopes, my destiny. And that dua, that surrender, that moment of release is when Allah opens the gates of mercy on you in ways you never imagined. Suddenly, things that were difficult for years begin to ease. Doors that were locked begin to open. People who were written for you begin to show up. Blessings that were delayed start flowing into your life. Comfort begins entering your heart. Peace begins settling in your soul. Because the moment you let go, Allah begins. And I want you to think about something deeply. How many times did you want something, prayed for something, chased something, and when you didn't get it, you were heartbroken? But years later, when you looked back, you said, Alhamdulillah, I didn't get what I wanted. Because what Allah gave me instead was so much better. This is the proof. Proof that Allah's plan is better than your desire. Proof that Allah's wisdom is greater than your vision. Proof that Allah's timing is more perfect than your urgency. Proof that Allah's protection is hidden in His refusals. Proof that Allah's mercy is hidden in His delays. Proof that Allah's love is hidden in His tests. So breathe. You don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. You don't have to figure out every detail. You don't have to stress over every step. You don't have to panic about the outcome. You just have to trust the one who controls the outcome. And when you trust Him, truly trust Him, you walk differently. You think differently. You make decisions differently. You stop overthinking. You stop stressing. You stop forcing. You stop doubting yourself. You stop comparing your journey to others. You stop living in fear of what's coming. You begin to live with peace, a type of peace the world cannot give you and cannot take away, a type of peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances, a type of peace that comes from one simple truth. Your life is in the hands of the one who loves you more than your mother loves you. And when you finally reach that level of trust, you begin to understand something that changes the way you breathe. What is written for you will find you even if it is buried beneath mountains. What is not written for you will slip from your hands even if you hold it with all your strength. So why exhaust your heart trying to force what was never meant to stay? Why drain your soul trying to change what Allah has already decided? Why lose your peace chasing something that was never yours? Remember this, nothing escapes the decree of Allah. Not the people you meet, not the opportunities you receive, not the friendships that fade, not the heartbreak that breaks you, not the miracles that arrive unexpectedly. Everything is part of a divine orchestration far more beautiful than what you can see. And when you leave everything in Allah's hand, you begin to notice how He rearranges your life with perfect wisdom. Sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly, sometimes in ways that confuse you at first, but enlighten you later. You start discovering that the very things you cried for were paving the way to the very things you were meant to receive. You start realizing that the struggles that once made you question Allah's plan are the same struggles that later make you say, if that never happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. And you begin to appreciate the unseen mercy behind every moment Allah said, a no, a not yet, or a trust me. Because Allah's a no is never rejection. It is redirection. It is protection. It is love disguised as loss. Allah's a not yet is never neglect. It is preparation. It is elevation. It is wisdom hidden behind patience. Allah's a trust me is never empty. It is a promise. It is a guarantee. It is a reassurance that your story is unfolding exactly as it should. And once your heart accepts that, you walk into life with a calmness that confuses people. Your silence becomes stronger than their doubts. Your patience becomes louder than their opinions. Your faith becomes deeper than your fears. You stop chasing what runs away from you. You stop begging people to stay. You stop forcing answers out of life. You stop torturing yourself with what ifs and could have beens. You begin to let life flow. You begin to let destiny unfold. You begin to trust every turn, every pause, every closed door, every delay. You begin to say with certainty, if it is written for me, nothing can stop it. If it is not written for me, nothing can make it mine. If Allah decreed it, it is perfect for me. If Allah withheld it, it was never good for me. And suddenly the things you used to fear don't scare you anymore. The things that used to break you don't control you anymore. The things that used to consume your mind no longer disturb your peace. Because your trust is no longer in people. Your trust is no longer in circumstances. Your trust is no longer in your plans. Your trust is no longer in the world. Your trust is in Allah. And when Allah becomes your source, nothing in this world can weaken you. When Allah becomes your anchor, no storm can drown you. When Allah becomes your focus, no distraction can pull you away. When Allah becomes your hope, no disappointment can shatter you. You become unshakable. Your heart becomes steady even when life feels unstable. Your soul becomes strong even when your body feels tired. Your faith becomes deeper even when your path feels unclear. Because deep inside, you know something that others don't. Allah is with you. And when Allah is with you, you are never behind. You are never forgotten. You are never overlooked. You are never alone. Even when the world leaves, Allah remains. Even when people disappoint you, Allah comforts you. Even when life breaks you, Allah rebuilds you. Even when your plans shatter, Allah's plan stands firm. So don't fear the twists of life. Don't fear the delays. Don't fear the delays. Don't fear the losses. Don't fear the unknown. And most importantly, don't fear letting go. Let go of what hurts you. Let go of what confuses you. Let go of what drains you. Let go of what Allah is trying to pull away from you. Because your clinging is delaying your blessing, your blessing, your blessing, your peace. Your attachment is holding back your elevation. Open your hands. Open your hands. Release everything. Surrender the illusion of control. And watch how Allah replaces every worry with something better than you prayed for. And sometimes when you let go, Allah gives you not what you asked for, but what you needed to become who you were meant to be. He gives you strength instead of the person you were holding on to. He gives you clarity instead of the plan you were forcing. He gives you peace instead of the chaos you were drowning in. He gives you understanding instead of confusion. He gives you redirection instead of disappointment. Because Allah's gifts don't always come wrapped in comfort. Sometimes they come wrapped in pain. Sometimes they come wrapped in loss. Sometimes they come wrapped in endings. But inside those endings are beautiful beginnings. Because every heartbreak is a doorway to healing. Every loss is an invitation to growth. Every test is a bridge to transformation. Every delay is a pathway to something greater. And when you leave everything in Allah's hand, you begin to see beauty where you once saw fear. You begin to see purpose where you once saw pain. You begin to see wisdom where you once saw confusion. You begin to see that every single thing was part of a divine plan tailor-made for you. And you finally understand the truth your heart needed all along. Allah never wanted you to carry life alone. He wanted you to trust Him enough to let Him carry you.